Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft and I'm back for game 3, the final game of this set here between Acer MMA and Quantic Hyun. And Hyun giving out some type of Korean letters here. I'm not too sure what. As someone out there on the YouTube comments who watches my videos and is Korean can understand, please feel free to translate. But anyways, yeah, very excited here as this is going to be the final game of the set here from the RSL tournament. And Hyun is the blue Zerg in the top right-hand corner. And of course, Acer MMA is the red Terran in the bottom left-hand corner. What other color would he be? It's always blue and red usually in tournaments because the tournaments force you to be blue or red. It makes it easier for tournament organizers, tongue twisted there, to be able to organize the tournament, obviously. So yeah, MMA is going to be the red Terran. And so far this set has been pretty good. Last game, Hyun just kind of went for it, and I don't know what prompted him to do that. I think he scouted out the weak wall at the front, the bunker and supply depot wall, and just said, wow, okay, you don't have a barracks there or a factory or anything that is tough. So banelings, just like 5 or 6 banelings can blow that wall up, and you know, Hyun calculated, and he calculated correctly, and he went for it. And so he's tied up this set, and for those of you guys who are thinking, oh wow, that means Hyun is just a totally cheesy player. No, he's not. He's a very, very good Zerg. He can play macro. If you guys haven't seen game 1 yet, check it out. You guys should always, I think, watch the games in order if I upload a full set. But yeah, Hyun can do anything he needs to do, and he will do it if he needs to do it to win the game. So we'll see what happens here on Planet S. It looks like MMA is going to be going for a, I want to say he's opening with a Reaper here, which is usually what Terrans, if they open up with an initial barracks, they usually go with the Reaper, but he will need some gas to do that. And in the meantime, we do have Hyun going for an expansion, of course, and a spawning pool back at home. So everything looking good over there for the Zerg side. This map, Planet S, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think it's the greatest map for Zerg. I do feel like if you're going to pick a map where Terran has an edge in today's tournament map pool, I do think this is a good map for Terran, solely because the 3rd expansion is very difficult to hold down. And medevac dropping on this map is exceedingly difficult to deal with. You know, medevacs can come from this angle, and they have protection from the high ground cliffs over there. They can come from this side. They can come straight through the gut. Terran forces can come on the ground. It's a pretty complicated map. And on top of that, you also have to deal with the... Oh, God, he's going to lose that Overlord. Oh, my goodness. 1 HP. Oh, how did that Marine see up there? Oh, MMA bringing a barracks for vision. I was going to say, how did that Marine... I mean, did he put on some, like, laser goggles, some binoculars or something, and grant himself extra +5 distance? No, he got a barracks to come in. So, high tech right there. Don't use binoculars. We use barracks. But yeah, I was going to say, the last thing is this little mountaintop here can make it pretty hard for Zerg to hold off a Terran front attack if they stand up on this hill. So that can be complicated. And meanwhile, we have a little bit of a skirmish here. Marine Zergling. Oh, it's gonna be close. It looks like Hyun is gonna win as he was able to get just enough surface area on those forces. And actually, with the destruction of those Marines in that SCV, it looks like these 2 Zerglings could kill off this SCV building the bunker, or at least delay its production. And if MMA, or if Hyun wanted to, he could reinforce with more forces, but I don't think he will. He's actually droning up now. I think that's totally fine. To try to commit to an attack right now, I mean, on this map, you have to traverse between the 2 bases. By the time more Zerglings get here, I think that bunker would have been up regardless. And back at home now, MMA adding in another barracks, and it looks like he's going to be going for the same build that he's been going for in the last couple of games. Mostly going to be seeing Marine Marauder medevac here. And we'll see if he adds in a starport pretty soon. Meanwhile, Hyun adding in a couple of extractors, has a 3rd expansion coming down. And look at this! Hyun actually going for the expo over here on the right-hand side, rather than going up here, which is the traditional place to get an expansion. Hyun has just said, nah, forget it. I don't want to go there. I already know how nasty it is to try to hold the 3rd at that location. I'm just going to go over here instead. Now, this is interesting because when you expand over here, now you have to deal with obviously 2 different ground places that you can get attacked from, and in fact 3 different places if you think that a Terran can come through this area as well. And so I don't know if it's actually safer there or not, but Hyun apparently thinks so, and he's starting to spread his creep downwards towards that hatchery, so we'll see how that plays out for him. Meanwhile, there is a Hellion, 2 Hellions actually coming out into the middle of the map, and they will be pushing out to discover where that 3rd expansion is, and it looks like MMA has found its position. And in the meantime, Hyun is just droning like crazy, and you know, he knows, I just got a drone up, get a lot of drones going, and saturate that 3rd base, and I'm in business. So we'll see if he can get that done or not. Meanwhile, Stimpack is on the way for the Terran side. We also have a starport in production in the main base. And I think if MMA wants to, he can certainly start to attack. And here we go, a couple of Hellions here, roasting up a larva or 2. And Hyun is immediately bringing his creep forward, but has to cancel them because those Hellions could have just flamethrowed the creep tumors down before they were able to burrow. And Hyun realizes how important it is right now to get the creep tumor spread and connected between the 3rd and the natural, and to get the creep up on this cliff and over it. Because if you can get that creep down, you get the vision, you get the ability to defend better because of the boost to your Zerg ground forces and their speed. So all this adds up. It's very important here that Hyun gets everything situated between these expansions, because remember, he is droning up like crazy. He's at 60 drones right now, over 39. He doesn't have that many units. He's just now beginning to produce roaches, so defense is of utmost importance. And speaking of which, it looks like MMA now coming out with Marines, Hellions, Marauders, a couple of medevacs as well, and these roaches are going to have to run right back up the cliff where they came from and right back down again as well. MMA now going up to the high ground. He should drop a comsat to destroy these tumors, and he hits the jackpot there because there were about 5 or 7. Actually, all of them were in range of that comsat. Perfectly placed comsat right there. And this hatchery, I think, is going to go down. One medevac scoping to see if reinforcements are going to arrive, and Hyun, it looks like he's just going to let the hatchery die. And like I said before, that's the problem with this map. It's so hard to defend a 3rd expansion as Zerg. And I think Hyun now, I mean, honestly, he is starting off this game the same way he started off the first game, losing your 3rd expansion, and that is not good at all. He's going to try to replace it with an Expo over here, but what a huge loss right there for Quantic Hyun. And MMA now feeling pretty comfortable, I gotta feel. He might even want to go ahead and go for a 3rd expansion. In fact, he's got a macro CC on the way. I think as soon as it completes or becomes an orbital, he'll lift it off and bring it over here. He'll need to bring something to deal with the pooping creep, though. And one Widowmine was actually left on top of the hill. The Widowmine says, "I'm the king of the hill." And actually, it's kind of nice for MMA because mostly it gives him scouting vision as to the whereabouts of the Zerg army, and in fact he's going to reinforce it, bringing in units here, and he's going to pop these 2 queens off and maybe even drop another comsat to confirm the death of the creep tumors here. He actually lands another mine under those roaches, and that mine detonates right on the roach pack. And MMA is just looking so good, so solid, bringing a Marine to kill off that Overlord as well. And this hatchery is most likely going to go down. MMA just needs to stim and send everything in. And you'll note a distinct playstyle difference for MMA here. He's not dropping all over the place. He's not going crazy with it. He's just making solid decisions. And every single move he's made so far, it's like a grandmaster chess player, and it's been designed to kind of force Hyun into bad situations, and Hyun right now is in a pretty bad situation. Although he just got this 4th hatchery up, I think he was just able to get enough forces here to ward off MMA's threat of a push, and he is going to be able to kill off those mines. Here comes some Hellions, so right into the new 3rd expansion. And not much Hyun can do about this. He is bringing in some Zerglings, though. Will it be enough Zerglings? The Zerglings do have speed, and wow, surrounding those Hellions very quickly. And a minimal drone casualties right there for Quantic Hyun. Very nice job right there from the Zerg player. And that's exactly what he needs to do at this stage of the game to claw back into things. He's lost more resources total than MMA has, but he slowly got momentum kind of building on his side. And in fact, he's got more upgrades. I don't know how that's possible, but there we go. A round of upgrades just completing for MMA. So both sides are at +1/+1, but +2/2 is about to complete for Hyun. So he does outclass the Terran army. And that is probably one of the reasons why Hyun, even though, you know, at the early start of this game, losing a couple of hatcheries, losing his hatchery, has been able to stand toe-to-toe with MMA. Here comes a dropship, though. And it's going right for the main base. Hyun could lose his Baneling nest here, which is researching Baneling speed. And Zerglings quickly coming back home, protecting their evolutionary building of choice, and forcing that medevac out of Zerg airspace, or at least out of the Zerg main base. Not quite out of airspace yet. And MMA now starting to go back into his drop style. I mean, he's got his Marines and Marauders loaded up into medevacs across the map, but he gets surrounded here before he can save. No, he does save them. Wow, what a save. Only losing one Marine, or looks like one Marauder there. What an incredible pickup right there from MMA. Very good reaction. And really, he just had a few seconds to do that. The game has been recovered from a replay. It looks like maybe we had a bit of a disconnect, and now the player's utilizing that new feature in StarCraft 2 where you can restart from where you left off. And oh, look at this. Hyun is transforming everything he has into Banelings. We have a lot of Banelings, because 61 Banelings on the way here to add on to the... I mean, we're going to have like 100 Banelings. What the hell is about to happen? And I don't know if MMA is going to be prepared for it. Oh my god, he needs to siege up these siege tanks right now. It looks like Hyun trying to distract MMA on the right-hand side. Very smart distraction, because now it opens the path for all these Banelings to come crashing on through. Expansion is lifted up, and now MMA is just in damage control mode. He needs to try to mitigate his losses here, but oh man, he's going to lose so many buildings and structures. Oh, so many SCVs have gone down so far. And the Banelings and Roaches continuing to crash on through. Meanwhile, more Banelings and Zerglings coming over on the right-hand side, but they were a little bit held up by the supply depots, which were actually lowered. I don't know why. And it looks like MMA brings his forces back in, and he's able to establish some semblance of order after chaos. And how many SCVs has he lost? 23 now, down is what he's down to. He's lost so many workers. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this might be too much for him to overcome. Hyun is coming in with more Zerglings, and I don't think MMA can do anything about this. He's got siege tanks, but is it going to be enough? Zergling carcasses continue to fly up in the skies, but the siege tanks, I don't think there's gonna be enough. And honestly, even if MMA holds this off as well, I mean, he is in a lot of trouble. He's lost so many SCVs. He's gonna try to drop and be aggressive, bringing another medevac over behind the Zerg fourth or third expansion, I should say. But Hyun is still attacking on the ground with all these Zerglings. Meals coming to try to replace their fallen SCVs, and there are only 11 or 12 SCVs left. Oh my god, MMA now is in a spot where he's pretty much forced to go all in. It's all in or nothing, and MMA realizes that he's bringing everything he's got, his siege tank, his Marines, everything is being called into war. And except for the SCVs, I guess you need to leave those 11 back at home. They're a rarity right now, so you cannot draft them into combat. MMA, he cannot wait for a very long time though, and oh, there's more Banelings coming. So Hyun has Banelings on the way, and MMA is pulling back. Oh, that is rough, because now I think he's almost certainly condemned himself to lose this game, because by pulling back, he's going to be forced to play more defensively. He'll never have a chance to be aggressive against Hyun now, and Hyun is just going to expand. He's got map control, he's got millions of Zerglings and Banelings all over the place, and here comes MMA's army. I don't even know if he's got enough to deal with this many Banelings. Although the Banelings, most of them are still in their egg form. He is going to be forced to pull back though. It's just too many Zerglings, and oh, they're being caught by those Zerglings. Trying to get out of harm's way is MMA, but more Banelings and Roaches are coming on the south side, and everything is just getting crippled here for Acer MMA, and I think that is going to be GG. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, Hyun with a brutally precise attack, and what a decision right there to just say, hey, I'm gonna go for it. And he went for it, and it actually, interestingly enough, came after the replay was restarted. So you can go into the the psychology a little bit, if you will. Like maybe during the downtime, Hyun was like, hey, I think I'm just going to transform all my Zerglings into Banelings and go for it. So who knows? But that was a really good set. I hope you guys enjoyed. And of course, subscribe to me at YouTube at HD Starcraft, and I'll have more videos coming out for you guys. This is HD, signing out.